Peace, my beautiful souls. So I was on live and they kicked me off for violating the community guidelines for doing drugs and tobacco because I was burning some freaking sage. But anyway, I'll be back on live in about a week or so. I don't even know what the date is. So anyway, we're gonna do a little reading really quick. Probably not that quick, but hey. All right, what you resist persists. What you face disappears. It's natural to want to avoid our fears, but ironically, the more we try to run from them, the closer they seem to get. Rather than continuously expending energy on evading our fears, we can choose a moment of courage, leading to freedom that lasts a lifetime. When we confront our fears head-on, examining them closely and accepting them as a possibility, we open ourselves up to moving through them. This can be more effective than any other strategy for avoidance. List the fears that trouble you, even those you believe you've already conquered, or don't consider fears. One by one, vividly picture each scenario and move through it in your mind. With each instance, you will realize that despite the fear, life continues, whether it remains the same or changes course. Okay, heavy shadow work energy. Again, this came up a little bit during a reading on the live. A good time right now probably to get deeper or to start shadow work if you've not done shadow work, because a big part of what's in our shadows is our fears, and sometimes even doing shadow work for some people, it seems like a scary thing because people have put like a scary notion around our shadow. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of in general, but being able to face our fears, we realize that there was nothing to be afraid of to begin with. It's just sometimes there's a big fear of the unknown because we simply don't know what's to come next, and we like to know. But allow yourself to like let go of the fears and just dive in. There's so many I'm always saying beautiful things on the opposite side of fear. And if you guys would like some shadow work questions, I have a whole collection of over 50 something parts of shadow work prompts that I've done on my page. Okay, everything is always changing. The only permanent thing in the world is change. Have you ever noticed that the natural cycles of the world around you? The changing seasons, the ebb and flow of the tides, the growth and decay of all living things. Even people change, their ideas, beliefs, and perspectives. What you once considered good or bad may shift with perspectives. What you once considered good or bad may shift with time. The only thing that doesn't change is change itself. It's a fundamental part of life, and you are part of that too. Clutching on to things as they are will always lead to suffering, and resisting change will leave you drained and disheartened. Instead, trust that life is evolving and improving, even if it doesn't seem that way. Life moves in an upward spiral, and sometimes the journey to the next level may seem long and arduous. I'm gonna have to look that up. But keep moving forward and allow life to reveal its blessings in its own time. Reflect on things or people you have been clinging to, hoping they will remain constant. Release your mental grip, let go of your mental grip on them, and be open to new opportunities you may not have foreseen. Embrace the unknown. Again, there's beautiful things on in the unknown, beautiful things on the opposite side of fear, and having attachments to people, places, or things will really hold you back, because at one point and another, like it says, everything is going to change. You're not always going to have that thing. You're not always going to have that person for one reason or another, if that makes sense. And having attachment just keeps you stagnant. Like, you should really allow yourself to go with the ebb and flow of life, go with the change, allow change to happen, allow yourself to change and evolve and grow. Change is a beautiful thing, and sometimes, once again, it can be scary, but there's really nothing to be afraid of. There's just a whole bunch of things to embrace, if that makes sense. So the last one is setting limits is a good idea. It's important to remember that you cannot please everyone and fight every battle. It's crucial to allow those around you, whether you're whether your children, parents, partner, family, or friends, to take responsibility for their own lives. Taking on too much responsibility can lead to resentment, exhaustion, and hinder the growth and evolution of those you care about. Instead, express your feelings of annoyance in a healthy way and avoid poisoning yourself with repressed emotions. It's better to apologize for a poorly expressed annoyance than to suffer from a buildup of emotions. Set clear boundaries and communicate these limits to others. Let them know what you will not tolerate and ask for respect when they cross these boundaries. Remember to talk to your inner child who may feel the need to please everyone for the sake of being loved. Remind them they are worthy of unconditional love and should not sacrifice themselves for others. When you disagree with someone or something, process your emotions before approaching the other person. Come from a place of love and compassion and explain how their actions or omissions make you feel. Define the limits that are necessary for your happiness and communicate them clearly. Okay, so in the collective, a lot of us, there must be like having throat chakra suppressions. And for me personally, I'm going to say that I definitely was these last 2 to 3 weeks, and come to find out there was some spell work being placed, but we're gonna just disregard that and let it go because we have the power to override all of that. But this reading, and then a video I posted earlier today, and even a reading I was doing on live a few minutes ago, there's a big block in the collective throat chakra. And there's a big block in the collective throat chakra. It is time now more than ever for us to really step into ourselves, into our truth, fully, boldly, unapologetically. Set those boundaries, keep them firm, and not allow anybody or anything, including yourself, to hold yourself back from really fully embracing you and your voice. You are meant to be heard. You are safe to be heard. You are worthy of being heard and seen. All of the above. Throat chakra work, there's throat chakra affirmations you can do. I have some in a collection as well. There's throat chakra, you know what, I'm gonna probably post some new ones tomorrow. There's throat chakra shadow work as well too. In our inner child, the inner child has been coming out too. So perhaps letting yourself play more. And that makes sense too, because in my video earlier I was saying I feel like my throat chakra was mainly suppressed overall from, like, it stemmed from my childhood, trying to speak my mind, speak my truth, speak about the things that didn't feel good to me, and it was never received well. So maybe doing specific throat chakra shadow work, especially for your inner child, like how were your feelings perceived when you were a little Ren, and things along that nature. Working with blue, wearing more blue. There's certain crystals that help with activating your throat chakra. Foods that have like blue, red, purple tints to it, eating those. There are yoga poses for your throat chakra. There's a lot, but overall the collective is being called to speak your truth. Let your voice be heard. You are worthy of being heard. You are worthy of being seen. There's nothing to be afraid of. You are safe. And if somebody, like I was saying earlier, does not respect your boundaries or cannot communicate with you in a healthy manner, like, use your discernment, know when to separate yourself, because you being around people that can't communicate well either will also in turn lead you to, or can lead you to, suppressing your own throat chakra too, because you're probably going to feel like, well, what's the point of talking if they're not even going to understand, or they're not going to hear me? So then you end up being quiet, and there's no need for that. Don't be quiet. Speak your truth, speak your mind, say how you feel. Do not suppress your feelings and emotions for anybody or anything. Even if it is scary, once again, get over that fear. What you resist persists. What you face disappears. If you resist speaking your truth and telling how you really feel, it's going to keep happening. It's going to literally keep happening. When you decide to face it, speak your truth, speak up about it, it's going to go away in one way or another. Either they're going to not take it, and continue to do what you do, and you let that person go, or they're going to hear you, they're going to respect you, they're going to respect your boundaries, and y'all could move on gracefully, move on happily. But remember too, like I was saying earlier, and like it came up in here, the way you approach the situation is important. You don't have to be aggressive or mad or whatever the case may be. Take your time to collect your thoughts, your feelings, and express that in a healthy manner.